Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 523. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneed.
What's up?
Corey Feinside.
Yo.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 523 of the Gamecast. Whew. Almost the end of the year, guys. We are getting into it. Oh, by the way, for those wondering that are new listeners and stuff, we have some new listeners there on YouTube. Hi, guys. We do our end of the year. We don't do our of the years until next year. So we like to, because we're not like, we don't get these games massively in advance. We just play them as we get them. And we like to give ourselves that extra time all the way through 2020, especially because, it's going to be a lockdown Christmas. So there's going to be plenty of time to play more games. So look for that stuff. We probably will do it the second week of January. So look for it around that point. But that's always a fun week. 2 weeks usually. So we do break it up a little bit.
Just makes sense for us. We don't get review copies or anything, and also there's nothing happening in January ever anyway. So it's always good. I think it's best.
Yeah, well, I feel like you get so many people's of the years that month and of this month anyway. So I'm just like, we'll put ours in January.
People have already done it, and there's one major game of this year that hasn't come out technically yet.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
So, I need that time. Like I'm playing through just getting to what we've been up to. Ghost. I'm at the I believe I'm at the end of this game finally. I believe I'm in Act 3.
Act 3 is the last act.
I'm looking for the con. Just kind of keep the Vegas story here. So I already know where the con is. I just have to go there. In fact, the assault's already started on that. So I think I'm in the last battle. I don't know, but it's that's where I'm at in that game. And then I'm playing Hades a lot still. Last week, I don't know if I mentioned last week, I put on that God mode because this game is like, I feel like this is a game, and I'm so happy I turned this on because I feel like this is a game that I would never finish. I would just never finish that game. And because with God mode on, I have now played the game. I've died. My resistance is up to 36%. So you start at 20. Well, you start at 20.
Yeah, I know.
So, so that's, what is that? How many times death is that? 2% every death?
Yeah. 8.
So eight deaths. I only died 8 more times in the game, but I've made it to that damn Hydra 8 times, and I failed 8 times in the fucking thing. Because I had beaten Meg just before that without going to God mode. I finished that whole thing up. But I'm learning how, the thing is like, I'm learning how to play that game now with like permanent increases first. Do those, get them, and then start to do your runs. Like, so a lot of my early playthroughs could have been more purposeful, instead of wasting, by building my character up a little better so he's stronger and ready to run through it. But so because the gods, blessings are just temporary stuff, whereas the weapons, those purple abilities are all, your power-ups permanently. So I'm learning that. I learned that too late. So I'm doing that now, and that's why when I die, it's like, okay, I didn't really give this run my all because I'm like, I just want to get purple stuff. So, that's what I'm doing now. But very good game. Once I finish Ghost, I'm probably moving on 13 Sentinels before I do Cyberpunk, I think.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Cyberpunk is a game where it's actually available for pickup now. I just got notified from Best Buy, but which is early, but I don't know.
There's reason to wait for a month, it seems like, anyway.
Everything I'm reading, I'm like, it's very buggy. So I'm going to probably just play 13 Sentinels and play that maybe over, I'm definitely home for the after Thanksgiving, after New Year's. So I'm definitely going to be home anyways for 2 weeks. So I'll probably play it then as we're doing our of the years. I'll hopefully have some information from Cyberpunk at least. That's my plan. But a lot of backlog of games. And I got Switch stuff like Trials of Mana and Mario All-Stars. I have to play Mario All-Stars, even though I know that wouldn't be like game of the year stuff. Still games I want to play. And, Hades is kind of my Switch game right now, though. When I pick up the Switch, I play Hades. So it's that kind of game where I can just kind of pop into it. But a lot of the Switch games are. That's why it's like, this is why the system's working so well now, is there's those kind of games on it that fit perfectly for just those handheld modes where you just pop into a game real quick. Doesn't take you that long. You can just pause it or stand by or whatever. It's not like it's an in-depth kind of experience. There's some good ones like that still, but there's a lot of these content things where you can just, it's a filler, great filler time stuff. So That's really it for me. Mike, what have you been playing?
I'm playing a little more of Judgment, the Yakuza spinoff.
Right.
I think this is the newest Yakuza-ish game since, aside from the whatever, Like a Dragon, the one that just released in the U.S. recently. That's turn-based now. But so this one I think was from about a year ago or something. And yeah, it's the main story is longer than I expected. I'm like 30 plus hours in, and I think I'm like just a little more than halfway through the main story. But so it's pretty substantial, and I'm enjoying it. It's not quite as, again, like I said before, it's not quite as exuberant as the mainline Yakuza games, but there's still aspects of it, and it's pretty fun. And there's you're a lawyer / detective, which is interesting. So there's a lot of investigation type stuff, it's kind of superficial, but it's still interesting. I think the whole concept is like they want to do like a film noir-y detective story in the Yakuza town, pretty much, the Kamurocho, which is cool. Although I can't get over how the protagonist, I think he was a capture of like some famous former like boy band guy in Japan who's like in his mid 40s, I think, in real life, and this character is supposed to be 35, but he kind of looks like a 40-year-old dude with like a 16-year-old haircut and skinny jeans. He's a little weird looking. I'm not Yagami. I'm not a big fan of like his look. He looks kind of silly to me, and also there's this weird thing where like you can date like girls from the side stories, and he's trying to date. Well, he's not even trying. It just kind of happens. Like, there's this 19-year-old girl who wants to date him, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then I'm like, oh, I wonder how old she was before localization too. But, but no, it's fun. It's not quite as Yakuza as the Yakuza games, I guess, but it's still fun, and I do enjoy the detective stuff. Although they have tailing missions a lot. And I don't know why these are still in games at this point. This is, again, like only a year old. Why are tailing missions happening in games still? No one likes them ever.
No.
Why do they exist? But
Ghosts and everything. Yeah, I was like, I hate the missions. Those missions.
I mean, yeah, and like they're like the things that they're only good if they're super easy, and they're not really good. But you just want them to be super easy to get through it, and like not. Because who wants to fail that and just literally walk again? Literally walk.
That's the thing. Like, why not just describe that scene in the cutscene? Like, I played that in Ghost, where I'm just like, you're staying so far away from everything, anyways. You're just like, he's not gonna see. They're not gonna see me here. And I'm like, why are we doing this?
You know which one wasn't too bad? I just replayed Arkham Knight, the ones where you had to follow the penguin thugs like after you tag the vehicle, and you because you're flying up in the air, and you have them, you can see through walls and everything. Like, that one wasn't too bad. That was the closest one to being like a kind of fun. It's not really, but it wasn't bad tailing mission. But every other one has just been so whatever. I don't know why it's in this game, but
yeah,
it's fine.
All right. Anything else?
No, that's it really. I've just been playing it.
Corey?
I'm playing a lot of board games and then a lot of Mario Party with my kids.
Oh, nice.
a lot of mini games there.
Mario Party.
Are they doing just the mini games, or are
just
they
the mini games? Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get Mario?
We played the game to unlock a couple more mini games, but that was it.
You got the Mario Kart Live, right?
Mario Kart Live?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a gift. But,
okay. I'm interested to hear how that is.
The RC one or whatever. Yeah.
So yep. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, Tony.
I beat Age of Calamity, Hyrule Warriors, so that was pretty neat. I'm happy with that game. There's so much stuff to do though, like afterwards, like that I didn't do, because like it's one of those things where like you could still continue missions that you didn't do or whatever.
End game stuff.
But like, there's so many icons on the map. I'm just like, fuck this. Like, and every time I'm like, you know what? Let me get like 2 or 3 out of the way. I beat those 2 or 3, and then like 3 more pop up. I'm like, nah. Like, I'm done. So we'll see about that. There's been data mining, and apparently there'll be some DLC characters or something like that. So I might wait and do more stuff with DLC characters and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, pretty happy, pretty satisfied with that game, and on that's pretty much it.
Cool. All right, let's talk about some news here for the games. We've got, as we mentioned, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, the review embargo is over.
Yeah, it's getting pretty good scores. I think what we look at, what's the meta critic on that one now?
Yesterday it was 91. I don't know what it is right now. It's probably
Might get down to an 89.
It's probably.
I know that from what I'm reading on Twitter, there's a lot of fanboys that are pissed about the reviews because they said, well, they gave Last of Us 2 perfect scores, and I'm like,
there are a few reviews that talk kind of more about what they wanted out of it or themes in it that don't really make much sense as far as a video game review. But those are generally from the same publications that don't even score reviews anyway. So I don't know about that. But most of the complaints are really about the bugs. And,
it is a lot of them. There was a pre-launch patch that hit, and now apparently there is a day one patch that's going to be hitting to fix a lot of bugs. And we're talking like 50 gig patches here. We're not talking.
They did
like
delay it after it went gold. So
well, this was almost inevitable. Like we kind of knew this was going to happen whenever this released. If it didn't come out like in another year or something.
What did this look like in October?
Like probably what people are playing right now.
Well, the problem is
was
they
that
probably,
it, or was it worse?
They probably fixed a bug that they thought was going to be okay, and then that probably triggered something else to think, oh shoot, we cannot release this game.
Also, a lot of these reviews are based on pretty much those review copies that they've had for like a week or two anyway. That a lot of them are saying they've gotten half patches in the middle that fixed certain things, but not everything. So.
No, that's what I hear a lot of is just that this game needed to be delayed. It was just that's all this game was delayed. So it's like, but I mean, it still looks really cool. Definitely looks awesome.
Yeah. It definitely looks awesome. I want to check it out. I've heard the gameplay was not awesome, but
I've heard mixed things about the gameplay. Some people say it's better than expected. Other people say it's just by the numbers, but
gotta play it to find out, I suppose.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't expect it to be like Call of Duty level gunplay. I mean, you shouldn't do that, but I think probably better than Fallout 4, or about the same, maybe.
Okay. I don't know if it's a good thing or I don't know. But
well, I mean,
Fallout 4 was fine. I didn't like the story in that one. So
he's talking about gameplay, right?
He was. That's what I'm saying. Like he was. That's what I'm saying. Like Fallout 4 was
Fallout
fine.
4 as a shooter was serviceable. Like it was fine. I can't say anything.
But I mean, this is not supposed to be a shooter, though, right?
No, but I mean that. So I've looked at a few reviews. I've listened to them too, because I'm very interested. I'm gonna get this game, but I am fully going to wait for the holidays to get it. I'm not in a rush to get it right away. A couple weeks will do. I think this game's some good. Get at least a patch or two in there before I even pick it up.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean,
do we think this goes on sale pretty quickly? Like I don't know why.
I already got it as part of the buy two get one at Target. So
yeah,
my copy's in the mail for $40. So I'm like, well, free upgrade 2 for next gen. And the thing is, like, I honestly might just wait for whenever I do get a PS5, because that'll be first. Just wait for that, next gen update and just play that as a pseudo PS5 game. Because, I mean, how many times have we talked about this in the past 5 years? Where it's like the longer you wait for some of these games, the better experience you're gonna have. So
it's only gonna be better.
Especially in this kind of a game, it's just like.
I just went to grab my hat and I didn't have it. I was like, well.
Oh, that's one of the bugs.
Oh.
That's one of the bugs they listed, because your character can look at mirrors in a game a lot, so you can actually see your character. And there's you can see them when you go to your menus, but sometimes their hat and hair disappear. Another bug was a whole
Assassin's
shirt
Creed style.
Like
whole shirts disappeared too. First,
I feel like this is a game.
That's a feature.
I feel like this is a game that could be patched for like this game could be patched for like a year and it's still gonna be buggy. I just feel like this is the kind.
Well, I mean, Witcher's still buggy. How long has that been out?
No, but this is, you know, again, like I said, this is sort of billed as the most like content-rich game ever. I'm not sure if it even is though. I know that you might be happy about this, Jim. That I've read that the main quest line can be finished in like 20 or so hours.
That's perfect.
It's
I'm
a
very
bit
happy.
shorter, but
you get to piecemeal what you want out of the game. Then I like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know how much. I know there's a lot of side stuff. I don't know if it's so much more that like it makes it seem longer than Witcher 3. I'm not sure, but it'll be interesting to see, and I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I became a fan of The Witcher after hating it for a while. And I like this setting more. I look at this as, you know, the potential like Deus Ex that we wanted for the longest time, but I'm still like, you know, trying to tamp down the hype still, and honestly, it is a little tamped just based on these early impressions of it being kind of messy, and not everyone is like, oh, this is great, because I kind of expected that. But,
yeah. No, I mean, I think you had to assume that this game was going to be buggy out of the gate.
Yeah.
It was almost a guarantee.
And I don't care about, you know, funny bugs like where things float or go through things, but there were a few where, like, you know, dialogue doesn't come out right or quest stuff doesn't happen right, and then that's the type of bugs you can't have. You can't have stuff like that.
No, I hate that. That's just like when you're sitting there waiting for it to load up, like you press the talk button and there's nothing happens, and you just sit there. I hate that shit. Or sometimes you have to reload that. It just kills you. It kills the whole run. So I'll wait. Like I said, I'm going to wait a little bit on that game myself. So, but you know, it's obviously a big game this year. I will try to play it. I had that whole problem with Best Buy where they changed my price, which is if I really wanted to argue it, the problem is, yeah, I mean, if I really wanted to argue it, obviously I can sit on their chat, which is ridiculously long, by the way. I got in the other day, and the guy said to me, because I left it on at work, and the guy said to me, he can't help me via chat. I have to call in. Do you know how long the call time is, like, on hold for that? It's like over an hour for people on the phone. So I'm like, you know,
how and why would that?
I don't know.
Ever be a thing?
I don't know. But
how
it's
is it
ridiculous.
easier to actually talk on a phone than just chat? Like, you don't have that many computers.
I think there's a concern about sending credit card information over chat as opposed to verifying it over the phone. That's my assumption, though. Otherwise, it's not worth your time. It's not worth.
It's not. I'm just because I'm saying, like, I feel like I'm going to see this on sale anyways. And I think I've seen it for $50 anyways at places. So I'm like, I could just not pick this game up from Best Buy and just wait and find it for, like, you know, $40 or $50 anyway someplace else. I
fully plan on playing this if I get it, because
I just don't see
people to get it for me for the holidays. So,
I
plan on playing it then.
I'm a huge Steelbook fan, but not that much. Like, I'm just not. So, you know, I like it in movies and I do like it in my games, but I'm just like, not for the inconvenience of paying that price. And when I know I had it for cheaper anyways, thanks to my Gamers Club from 2018, which they say is not valid anymore, obviously, which is, I know why it's not valid, but it's valid on that game. I have the freaking receipt that I ordered it for that price. You should just match it. So, whatever. Anyway, so that's Cyberpunk. All right, let's go into other news. We've got Sony doubled Microsoft's paid advertisements for TV ads in the month of November for PS5. I find that crazy considering how much
enough regular TV to notice.
I don't know. I find that crazy considering like what Microsoft usually pays for marketing. Like, that's a lot of money Sony pushed out there. It was like $49.7 million were the TV ads total, and like 52.7% of that money was PlayStation related and PlayStation 5, as opposed, you know.
See, but for Sony, they have at least games they're kind of at least pretending are next gen, while Microsoft doesn't really have that. So, like, you know, the Sony montage can show Miles Morales, Demon Souls, and that's most of it, but they can show that. Like, what is Xbox going to show? What's new that's coming out soon anyway?
They can show Master Chief not being played.
They could show Master Chief coming in how long?
Yeah.
300.
So, yeah, I mean, we're gonna have that's the thing. Like as we mentioned, Mike just mentioned, we have that big news today. Was just before the podcast was that Halo Infinite is not coming until November of 2021 now.
Yeah, full year delay. Impressive.
Full year delay on a game that was going to launch with the system.
Do we think that this would have came out if no one said anything about that trailer?
Yeah, absolutely. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. They would have been like, yeah, Halo Infinite, guys. They'd like, oh, okay.
This would have been the next Halo Master Chief Collection. This would have been like
we would
the
have gotten that
year.
Jurassic Park montage that the No Man's Sky got.
The Halo Infinite regret.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Who knows what it's going to be in a year? Obviously, as we just saw with Cyberpunk, it still might be a mess when it comes out in a year. Who knows?
Well, you can't. I mean, yeah, you can't have much faith with the way that 343 has been handling it. So,
I mean, a year is substantial. That's a substantial delay, but they're just going to rework everything. Who knows, too? And it still might be a mess because of that.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I am shocked at the.
Do you think they will now make that next gen exclusive?
No.
Or not? No.
I mean,
it was built
fast
for.
Fast forward a year.
One.
How many Xbox Series X do we really think to be sold? Like maybe 10 million. Maybe 10 million. I mean, I think it's generous to hit 10 million.
Will the real people? Have
it's going to be single digit millions. Single digit millions. It will be a 7-figure number.
Will anyone who's not part of a scalper group have them by then?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
You'll be on the shelves. Yeah.
After Q1 of 2021, you'll be able to find them in shelves. But yeah, I mean, it sucks. I mean, I didn't even think we reported, but somebody definitely left the Halo Infinite development team recently. That was like a
big deal.
Their lead director, I thought.
Yeah, the lead director. Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
How do you have a lead director leave after you delayed the game and before it comes out? Like, what?
It's like, my contract done, man. This game was supposed to be out last year.
He's just like, I tried, didn't work. See you later.
He was brought in the middle of it too because of the other director leave, and he was brought in to finish this project. Didn't happen, clearly.
Didn't happen.
It's a train wreck. We've talked about this with 343 for like during after that presentation. We talked about 343 and how much of a mess they are and what they haven't done for Halo. And this was Microsoft's biggest franchise, and I guess it still would be, but that doesn't mean much.
I mean,
it's not doing anything.
It did get hard when Battlefield became the pretty much Call of Duty competition, and kind of pushed Halo out of the way as far as online multiplayer. So it was already hard for them back, when they were doing Halo 4 and stuff like that. It was starting then. So they've been trying to reinvent this for a while now, and they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they're chasing something that was a trend from back then, Call of Duty, Battlefield, and then you talk about like the 2016, 2017 resurgence of Battle Royale games with Fortnite and PUBG and Apex Legends, and or the whole hero shooter with Overwatch and stuff like that. It's like, cool, we're releasing Halo. Remember Halo 1, guys? Yeah, cool. All right, yeah. But Master Chief have his grappling hook. Okay, like, all right, yeah. And what?
It's funny too because they finally made Master Chief Collection playable. So if you really want to go back, you can. It's easy. Yeah, it's all right there, and it's free. Well, free with Game Pass, but yeah. I don't know.
And then in other news with this leaving of things, this exodus of directors and such, Bioware, Casey Hudson, who is the pariah coming back to Bioware, has left Bioware.
The prodigal son has left again.
Well, do we really think? Do we? I'm not surprised. Do we think this guy just doesn't, know what he likes to do? Is that a possibility?
I think that he's not happy with the direction they're going with whichever project he was working on. Usually, that's when people leave. It's a creative difference, like a director.
The first time he left, pretty much is because he was sad everyone yelled at him about Halo. I mean,
he did his trilogy and wanted to move on to something else.
No, but he left because of the backlash. He pretty much said that. at the time. He's just like, I can't deal with this. Like everyone's like, trying to kill me here, and like, this isn't worth it for me anymore. So that's why he left. And then, came back. He was supposed to, right the ship, and now he's just like, all right, I'm done
out.
again.
And is it Mark Darrah or Darrah?
I don't know I don't know anything about this guy. Like,
that guy's been with the Dragon Age team, I believe, since the beginning. I could be wrong, but I mean, he's the
executive producer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Casey Hudson was no longer the director of these games. He was the general manager of Bioware. He just left.
Right. General manager.
Yeah.
General manager. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez.
I mean, the thing is, I'm sorry. For me, this is a bunch of, what is it, the Schadenfreude, where it's just like, I gave up on Bioware years ago. I already told you guys that. Pretty much with Dragon Age Inquisition, I was like, you know what, you guys got me on Mass Effect 3. That's on you. Dragon Age Inquisition, no, I trusted you guys again. That was on me. So fuck them. Fuck that entire studio. And now I just feel like
I remember playing Inquisition just because I was missing a Mass Effect, and the story stuff was okay. It had absolutely no gameplay.
A game of the year too.
Well, the game had decent story stuff, and I spent a stupid time for me crafting because I don't like that normally. But other than that, the gameplay was non-existent in that game. It was literally like hold down button, shoot like laser things out of your magic wand. Like, it was dumb.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just pissed me off, and I was like, you know what? Nah, fuck Bioware. They're just a shell of their former selves. And then, whatever, the whole Java thing, I didn't even get into that other than laughing at the fucking bugs and shit like that. But like, and then now this is just weeks after they're like, guys, N7 Day, Mass Effect, coming back, boys. It's like, cool. And then you just have the general manager and the guy with Dragon Age executive producer leave. It's like, how? Like, why even bother with that stuff?
Where's the hype? Yeah. You just
like
hype and then boom. Yeah. Like, oh, you're getting the Legendary Edition of Mass Effect, and then like, oh, by the way, all these people are leaving. Everything's good though. Everything's completely fine. We promise.
Yeah.
So usually when people like that leave in the middle of projects, it just doesn't bode well. Like usually, like when he left before, Mike, when you said he left at the end of the project, he left the company. It's a different kind of thing when you leave, like going back to the Halo, in the middle of a project.
He hasn't been there while anything's released in his second run yet. So there is a chance he just doesn't want to deal with that again, because he might have seen the writing on the walls, like, well, we're gonna get shit for this again.
Yeah, he came back. So he came back.
He came back after Andromeda, I thought.
Yeah, he came back in July 2017. So he might have had a hand in Anthem. Maybe not.
He came back to help Anthem, I thought. Like,
if
he was gonna fix it. So nothing really has released while he's been back. I mean, he's supposed to be the savior, but I don't know. I could see how he's just like, this isn't gonna be worth it again.
Yeah. I don't know.
Any confidence in Bioware? Any confidence?
Yeah. I don't have a lot now. I was hoping for a good Mass Effect game to come out, but
I hear that.
I'm trying to.
Cyberpunk could be that.
I'm just hanging on to the glory days, really. I mean, I have to move on. You have to put things in the past.
Yeah, like make a new game that's good and not tied to these other ones.
Yep. So, all right. I think that's gonna wrap up 523.
No predictions, Jim? No predictions on Game of the Year? Thursday, Game Awards?
Video Game Awards. The VGAs are this week. That's right. Game of the Year.
So what are the nominees again?
You got Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Animal Crossing, and Last of Us 2.
Last of Us 2 is going to win.
I'm going to go with Hades.
Hades also is like my 1A.
That's the darling.
Yeah. Hades is the most talked about one for the journalists. I just feel like that's going to take it.
And I can't.
Final Fantasy though. I mean,
honestly,
my
outside of those two, I don't know if any of them have a legitimate chance.
FF7 was fantastic. I mean, it's such a great remake. It was fantastic. Like I think it's my game. It's like I'd have to think about it more, but I think that was a game I loved this year. It was fantastic. It was incredible. The game was fantastic.
I don't think it's gonna its remakeness, even though it's way different, I'm sure. And the fact,
absolutely.
And the fact that it was so early in the year too, I think that hurts it a little bit. I know Last of Us also was, but people
it also could like the big the difference like between obviously graphics are a huge one, just but them that undertaking of them bringing it back and making it actually a really good game that's not just updating the graphics and just shoving out the same gameplay. I think that pushes it forward a little bit more than you'd think. The problem I have with it is it's not a full game. It is half, if not less.
No, it's not even half. It's a quarter or a third.
It's not even. Is it even a quarter? Yeah, I don't even know.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I don't think it's going to be Game of the Year because of that. Not because it's just a remake.
It's going to be.
I think it's going to be Last of Us. Like,
please no. Please.
Every journalist has like praised Hades like to the ends of the earth.
No, I know, and that's why I think it doesn't win, just because it's actually like been so hyped up as well that like I think it's right up there with for me as in the Game of the Year. And like I was saying, it's one of the prettiest games I've seen like ever.
It's fantastic, yeah. Amazing. I mean, it looks good.
But if it's not Last of Us, it's definitely Hades. I don't see any of the four getting it though. I can't see it. It's those two.
No, and I think I
think Ghost could be a dark horse, but I don't think it really has a real chance.
Well, Ghost won the fan choice for Game Awards. They ended that, I think, today. So that was interesting to see, and that does have a little bit of weight. I think 10 to 15% of like the Game of the Year.
Oh, really?
Something like that. But
that might pull away from Last of Us, actually.
It's got a shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
That definitely, because that would lean it towards 80s more than.
Yeah, we'll see. Like, that's what I'm thinking. You're gonna pull that.
The
vote.
Bernie Sanders effect.
Yep, you're gonna pull from the vote. It's the third candidate.
I just love to see Hades win though, because like I mean, don't get me wrong, I really like Hades. I would love to see it. I really like Hades, but I don't. It's not gonna be my Game of the Year, but I recognize it. But I just love to see that studio win a Game of the Year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cool. Yes, that's a good point too. Like I would.
Last of Us. If the Last of Us won, it would be the most boring. Because
yeah, 100%.
Sure.
It's just it's always Naughty Dog is always the critical darling for some reason, and it's just boring.
Yeah,
and it's not unprecedented. Like, cause what Walking Dead won and Journey won, right? So it's not like an indie.
It is possible. It does seem like maybe there is a bit of a trend, to go a little more indie type lately.
Then who knows? We get Christopher Nolan out there going, "Fuck you, Warner Brothers." That's what you want, right?
I hope get that. Oh, the guy who did say "fuck the Oscars," he's coming back. He's coming back as a presenter.
Well, wasn't he back before? Like I thought he was there after. He got.
I forget.
Don't know. But that's funny.
They definitely made a point to like reference that, like, blah blah blah, poked fun in it. Reggie's coming back. And,
do we have any predictions for reveals at this event?
Breath of the Wild 2. I feel
we saw it already, but I would say more of it.
The newest one, the latest one.
I think so. I don't think we get an announcement from Nintendo for here, but I think obviously we're going to get Resident Evil. I think that we get surprise game. I got to go with Rocksteady. I got to say we're going to see a little more from that.
That's not surprise though. Yeah, we already know about it.
You wouldn't be surprised to see more of it? I'm saying see more. I'd be shocked if they throw us show us stuff that's actually a game.
God, don't even remind me about this.
No, I just feel like that's what we're gonna. I'm gonna go out. That's my crazy prediction. I'll go on a bold prediction for it. Okay.
It kind of would be because they did just reveal this in August.
I mean, you could get God of War.
Oh
sequel.
Yeah, good point.
Get
Sony should have something there. I mean, Horizon probably, but God of War would be nice. So,
I would love it. This is more of a wish than a real prediction. Like it contradicts what I just said. I would love to see an Injustice announcement. Injustice 3.
They already talked about their support for Mortal Kombat for the next year.
Yeah, I know. Fuck. Mortal Kombat. God damn.
I think we're gonna see A Wolf Among Us too.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah.
I like it. That would be awesome. Quite psyched for that. So, all right. it's going to wrap up this episode. We'll talk about the Game Awards next week. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us allyoucangeek@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment for us. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Notify that bell thingy. We'll see you guys next week.
Fuck the Oscars.
Fuck the Oscars.